I didn't mean to start a 24-hour timer. I was in work mode when I started this, and so I started work mode. So I just did 24 hours. So we're gonna see what happens. I was gonna do a timer up to see how much I could read this weekend. But apparently that's not what we're doing. So yeah, it's now 8 o'clock at night. I have read, you can't see this very well on the Google. On the Google. Nyeh. So the other problem is I actually did hit dismiss at one point, and it was 2 hours in, so I just reset the timer to 22 hours. So I have 21 hours. You're gonna focus for me. 21 hours and 11 minutes and 45 seconds left on a 24-hour timer. But I finished my first book. So I finished The Man Who Dies Twice by Richard Osman. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I love this series. This is the second book in the Thursday Murder Club series. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It is my first 5-star of the year. I'll have you all know. Yay, there we go. I am loving this series. I'm just getting the audiobooks from Libby from my library, and I will be purchasing them because I want the trophies, and I think I will also reread them at some point. So, yes, happy. Now I need to decide what to read next. I have 2 main possibilities. The first one is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. This is a fictional version of our world where in 1955, hundreds of thousands of women spreaded wings, scales, and talons and took to the skies. And this is the story. This is, like, I believe it's like diary entries, or it's the story of a girl who is left behind and her mother becomes a dragon, or became a dragon. So, yes, so there's this one. It's not terribly long. It's 350 some odd pages. So I do want to read this one. It is on my TBR as well, so I want to read it. The other choice is that I can finally start this trilogy. Black Sun is the first book in, I don't remember what it's called. I'm very bad at this. Between Earth and Sky by Rebecca Rowanhorse. I have all 3 of these books. They all ended up on my TBR. Because it was easier to read all 3 of these than to like start 3 different series or something like that. So we're doing this one. And I gotta decide which one I'm gonna do. It's Friday. I'm gonna read for a little bit longer tonight. Like I said, it is 8:30, 8:24. John is actually gone for the weekend. So it's just me and the kitty cat. She's over here on her blanket. And I gotta decide what I'm going to read. So, yes. I don't know. Because on one hand, I'm thinking that probably when I start this, if I read this, I'm just probably going to end up trying to binge the series. And then I'll read When Women Were Dragons afterwards. Or if I read When Women Were Dragons first, and then I can read like a romance, and then I'll read the trilogy. Or if I read the trilogy, and then the romance, and then dragons. Like, I think I'm leaning towards this one. I think I really want to read this one, though. So I think I'm going to start with this. And try to jump into the series. This is the Broken Binding copy, in case you can't tell. And it is freaking gorgeous. It is always beautiful. But I absolutely love these covers just so much. I love the naked hardcovers. And then the art inside. Here we go. The sprayed edges. And then the back art. Which might be spoiler. I don't know, honestly. Probably. There isn't a lot that is said, honestly, in the description of this one. So let me just read you this part. A god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun. In the holy city of Tova, the winter solstice is usually a time for celebration and renewal, but this year it coincides with a solar eclipse, a rare celestial event prescribed by the sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Xiala, is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can warp a man's mind. Her ship carries one passenger. Described as harmless, the passenger, Serapio, is a young man, blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. Ciala well knows when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. Crafted with unforgettable characters, Rebecca Roanhorse's epic adventure exploring the decade of power amidst the weight of history and the struggle of individuals swimming against the confines of society and their broken pasts is the most original series debut of the decade. Yeah, so I am honestly super excited for this book. I don't remember when this one actually came out. 2021. So I think we're going to start with this one. We're going to jump in. I do have the audiobook, but it is honestly shorter than I thought it was. It's barely over 300 pages. They do get longer, progressively longer as the series goes on. So we'll see. Maybe I'll read like 100, 200 pages tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Right, Lana? We'll see. So there we go. I made my decision. I'm just feeling this. So we're going to go with this one. If I can convince myself to read, let's go. I was originally going to try and do 8 hours of reading today, and then 8 hours tomorrow, and then 8 hours on Sunday. We're not going to get that, but we're going to try and get at least, like, I got 3 hours in so far, or a little over 2 hours. No, I got a little over 3 hours in. I can count. Wow. A little over 3 hours is in... I can't count. No, a little over 2. This is why I was going to count up and see how long it took me to finish things. So we're actually going to do that. I'm going to reset this timer. I'm going to figure out how to do it. And I'm just going to add this time to the other one. I took a shower and then I put the same sweatshirt right back on. I am an hour and 30 minutes into reading Black Sun. I am 100 pages in. It is 344 pages. So far, it's interesting. I am enjoying this book. I think one thing I just didn't really expect is how the timeline is very unlinear. We're kind of jumping all over the place. But I'm enjoying it. It is a good book. It is a very interesting story. I'm curious to see where it's going. There's a lot happening in the first 100 pages even. There's all sorts of things. The beginning was quite the attention grabber. I made myself some tea and I am settled in. It is 10:20. I did take a shower. Yeah, I'm not gonna finish this tonight. I think I'm gonna try and get through maybe another 20 minutes, another hour. I don't know. I'm kind of tired. I'm feeling kind of bleh. I'm not gonna lie. And I feel bad saying that, but I do feel bleh. So, and it's not the book. The book is wonderful. The book is very interesting. It's very unique. It's not like anything I've read before. And I'm very curious to see where it goes. So I am fascinated by the world built in here. And I really enjoyed the magic, actually, as well. Not magic, but it's like a cultish system. It is interesting with the role religion plays in this one. I'm not usually a big one for different type reading about religions and such, but this I'm enjoying it so far. We'll leave it at that. I don't think I'm far enough in to really have much more of an opinion. I'll come back to you guys when I'm at about 50%. Unless I finish it tomorrow while I'm at work, which I also might do. We'll see. Because I'm going to listen to the audiobook while I'm at work tomorrow, so I probably won't film that. But I am on chapter 11, which is about 100 pages into this book. And so yeah, we'll see how this goes. We're going to keep going. I'm just getting tired is really all it is, and I work tomorrow, so I do actually need to sleep tonight. Alright, it's 11:30. I'm gonna go up and do some reading and go to bed because it's bedtime. Yeah, that's where we're at. That was interesting. That was quite the journey. I'm sitting at 4 hours and 42 minutes to read this book, which is longer than I think I expected it to take me. But that was quite the time. I need to sit with this for a little while, but I am going to jump into the next one because I thoroughly enjoyed that book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't want to say it dragged. The world building, I think at times it dragged for me. But overall, this was such a gripping story. And so visceral and... yeah, I mean... yeah. Highly recommend. I'm gonna pause. I ordered dinner, so I have Domino's here, but I don't know that I'm gonna eat much of it, but that's okay. And I'm gonna go grab the second one, because now I need to know what happens, because it was very interesting. I didn't realize how political it was gonna be either, so that was not my mistake, but like, that was just something I didn't realize. So, yeah. Huh. Alright, what time is it? It is 7:57, so I'll probably read maybe till midnight or something like that. I'm not gonna make 24 hours. I'm just not. Like, that's just not gonna happen. I didn't read a lot during work today. I ended up listening to some YouTube videos. I tend to do that during work, and then I got into a mood and I listened to music. And yeah, I had to work, so... things. But Black Sun, done. Thoroughly enjoyed. I think as of right now, this is getting like a 4.5. 4.5, somewhere around there. Not quite a 5-star, but I loved this. This was so much fun. I really, really, really enjoyed this. So, All right, I'll be back with the second one. I can't reach. All right, book 2. We're gonna Fevered Star. Oh, look at my feet. It's weird. This is book 2. Yay. And the thing is, with Broken Binding, we do have spoilers in the art for some of it. But yes, it's just beautiful art. So I'm going to show you the beautiful art. You're going to pretend it's not spoilers. But I'm not going to show you the... I think it's the back page. Usually it's the back page. Yeah, the back cover is all spoilers. What I can show you is, look at, they're flying on giant crows. That was in the first book. It's really cool, honestly. I do like the fact that also the end pages change. And the third one also matches in with the pattern. So I think that's really cool. I'm very excited. We're going to jump in. Here's the naked hardback. And this one, instead of being gold, is that silver color. So we've also got a silver ribbon. And let's stop book 2. Keep going with this. I'm into it. Team Bro Crow. Okay, I like that. All right. Oh, that's fun. Okay, that's a spoiler. I can't tell you, but that's really fun. Ooh. Okay. Cool. That's really cool that they did that. That's very cool. Well, basically what they ended up doing is in their people, the cast, they crossed out who died in the first book. Because people died. Because this is a book about, like, revolutions and war and a lot of things like that. And I'm very excited. We're sitting at 4 hours, 42 minutes, and 5.5 seconds. Looks like there's a giant red mark on my forehead. It's not. It's just a shadow. I have to share this quote because I really like this quote that's on. So at the top of each chapter, and this was true in the last book too, they have quotes that are from the world and such. And this one says, "I have done great deeds, both good and evil, and who is to judge me but the gods? And what shall they say to me but that I dared?" It's from the Manual of the Dreamwalkers. I don't know what that means yet, but... So, we're not going to do the timer on my phone ever again. Because I hit reset again. Turned the timer off. Luckily, I'd only been reading for 20 minutes. I'm only like 30 pages in. So we're just gonna get to 20 minutes because I need to run a little laundry anyway. So, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at this. But yeah, on the plus side, I started it. I am on page 32. And I like how it picked up, like, directly after the first one left off. So I don't feel like, even if it had been a while, I feel like it would have been, I don't know, I think it's best to just kind of jump right in. And I'm hoping that the third one's probably going to be the same way. The first one, I will say it left off on kind of a cliffhanger. It wasn't what it was expected to be, which is why it's a trilogy, not a standalone. And I'm curious to see where this goes. So, yes, there we go. I'm getting closer and closer to my face. Sorry, you don't want to see that I'm frightfully pale right now. But, yes, so my goal is honestly to finish this book tonight. It's actually, according to page numbers, it is shorter than the first one. Because this one's only 328, and the other one was 343, I want to say, something like that. So it is it's shorter, which is interesting. So we'll see. And then the third one is the longest of the three. So I will start that one tonight. I probably won't finish it though. But yeah, so we're letting the 20 minutes run out. I'm currently on 2 because I'm so mad at myself. I'm so mad about it. Ah! So we have the start button and the reset button on my phone, and I keep pressing the wrong one. Maybe I should just go grab my iPad and I'll use that. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do that. I'm so mad about this. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Alright, so I'm here to do my 50% update on Fevered Star. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I do think I am enjoying this one more than I did the first one. That being said, I'm reading a little bit slower, I think, for parts. But it's taken me about 2 hours to get through 165 pages. That's where I'm sitting at right now. I'm on chapter 17. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of characters. I really, really am enjoying the direction this is taking though, and I'm very intrigued. And I can't wait to continue. I'll finish it tonight, not before midnight. It's 11 o'clock because I've been taking breaks and doing things and playing with the kitty cat. So I haven't been constantly reading. But I'm still gonna hit like... I should still hit like 10 hours of reading tonight before I go to bed. So that's not too bad. Between yesterday and today. So I don't really know what else I can say without giving any spoilers, but I am very intrigued and I am absolutely loving these characters, loving this direction, loving the storyline. As we got through the world building that's in the first one, I think that's what slowed me down. There's a lot of world building, a lot of, I don't want to call it info dumping because it was kind of explained in a good way, but now we're getting a lot of stories and we have a character who's convenient for telling the historical stories that like most of the characters would already know, but we have a character who's not brought up that way, and so we get to hear the stories for the first time through her perspective, which is really nice, and that does help with the narrative. I appreciate it. I'm very curious where this is going. I have a feeling, I have a guess. Part of it is because the cover spoiled it for me. A little bit, and I didn't realize it was a spoiler. But I'm curious also for where the third one's gonna go. So, halfway through the second one, I'm excited. I'm gonna try and finish this tonight, before going to bed, at least tonight. I will give you an update when I go to bed. And we're gonna see what happens. I haven't binged a series like this in a very long time. Actually, I don't know if I have ever fully binged a series. No, that's a lie. That is a lie. I have. The last time I binged a series was Percy Jackson, though. When I reread it, oh gosh, would have been probably 8 years ago. Yeah. And I bought the box set on a sale some point, and I read the first one, and then I picked up the second one the next day, and I just sat down, and I binged them all in like 3 days, because they're really quick reads. And I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Maybe I'll have to do that again. Maybe binging a series is good. We'll see by the end how I'm feeling. But I'm glad that I've continued with this, because I have a feeling if I hadn't decided I was going to read this whole series, I would have read the first one, moved on to something else, and then never picked up the second one, which is a very bad habit that I have. So I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I physically have it. I'm glad I have these gorgeous, gorgeous copies. I want this as a tattoo. I'm not even gonna lie. I would love to have that as a tattoo. Oh, it's gorgeous. But this story, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. There's so much to talk about with it too, because it talks about things like the different clans. It's still religion, but it's now seeping into a fantastical sort of religion, because now there's more magic involved, which I think is such a fascinating way of doing this, where they outlaw magic to make it more of a religion, like a religious aspect. But then when the religion fails, or when it doesn't do what they need it to do, they turn back to the magic. It's so interesting and fascinating, and this series, at least these books, are going to have me thinking for a while, and I will be rereading them at some point as well. I do know that. I'm getting a little tired, though, too, so that doesn't help. It's 11 o'clock. Alright, it's almost 1 in the morning. I did not finish. I started reading slow, and then I realized that I was reading the same paragraph over. I'm just too tired. Page 266. I'm gonna go to bed. Then I'll get up in the morning, I'll finish it, and I'll probably read the third one and complete the trilogy. And then I think I'm gonna read a romance, because I need something that doesn't make me think so much. In a good way. Like, this is great. This is wonderful. I love the story, and I'm like 60 pages from the end, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm just too tired. I'm just taking a very long time to read anything, so we're gonna come back to this tomorrow. I'm wearing PJs. This is one of my favorite PJ shirts. I got it from Goodwill years ago. That's why I'm always wearing the same clothes. So, I'm sorry. So far for this book, it has taken me 3 hours, 19 minutes, and 48 seconds, 49 seconds essentially. I did run it for the 20 minutes, too. So, yes, we're good. Alright, that's where I'm at. It's bedtime. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Alright, it's the next morning. I've had some cold pizza for breakfast. I have made a coffee. And now we're gonna finish Fevered Star. Problem is, Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 came out this week. Or last week. Something like that. I haven't watched it yet. So I'm gonna have it on in the background as I'm reading. Yes, that's something I do. Pretty frequently. I listened to some of this. This is what I listened to yesterday at work. This is why I wasn't. So, wasn't reading. But, let's give it a shot. I've got 60 pages. Let's go. Alright, so I just finished Fevered Sun, and I liked this one better than the first one. I did. I really liked the first one, but I liked the second one better. I cannot wait to see how this ends. Like, this feels like it's a full-on epic, and I absolutely love it. I'm just putting the dust jacket back on. This was so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Cannot recommend it enough. And it took me approximately 4 hours and 14 minutes to read. So, there we go. I think we're sitting at about, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours right now. So, rounded up to about 12 hours to read 3 books. So, you know what? I'll take that for now. These are, maybe, I don't know. I don't know where I'm sitting at. But, that's okay. We're gonna go. We're gonna continue. I need to do some chores today. Right, kitty? But, yeah. Is this so? Okay. So, that is that one. I didn't realize, and what I think I'm going to do for the next couple times whenever I do this, is that I can do laps in this timer, so I'll just lap it every time I finish a book, and it'll be easier. So, I know I'm not reading super fast right now, but that's okay. We're going to keep going. So, lap, stop. So yeah, 4 hours, 14 minutes to read this one. I think part of the reason it took me a little bit longer is also because I was so tired last night and I was very distracted. So, it took me a little bit longer. But let me go get the third one. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, I'm probably going to have to change locations just because the sun comes in this window and we don't have blackout curtains for that window. Book 3 is called Mirrored Heavens by Rebecca Roanhorse. I can't even show you this cover even though it's so pretty because of the lighting. So, we're going to see what happens. Ooh, it's got a squid on the front. That's cool. This one is obviously a bit longer than the other ones. This one is, hold on, let's see. Ooh, fancy. We are at 503 pages. So, this is the next book that I'm going to read. I might actually finish my TBR this month. Imagine that. I really need to find a new place to sit. But, we're going to get started. I'm going to take off the dust jackets. And again, these books are absolutely lovely. They are gorgeous. There we go. Again, this hey, that's the couch. Again, I would love this as a tattoo. This would be gorgeous as a tattoo. But let's get going, shall we? Alright, I have not gotten much written. I sat down and was on my phone for much too long. But I'm over 100 pages in, and I really just wanted to read this quote to you of Mirrored Heavens. I just really wanted to read this little section here. It's not spoilery, but I love some of the imagery and some of the actual like quotes in this book, because at its heart this is a fantasy book, but it's also romantic to a point. And it's not a romance. I would not classify this as a romance, but there are romantic notions to it. There are romances, and there's also just that longing of wanting to belong somewhere. Is it a weakness? She asked suddenly. Love? No, she declared. Love is never a weakness. People misunderstand. Love is the most powerful force in the world. It can change minds, change hearts, reshape the heavens and the earth. That is why people condemn it. Say a woman is stronger without it. But that's their own fear talking. If you are lucky enough to find love, you hold on to it with all you have. It's a rare thing. And I think that is such a lovely, beautiful quote. So yeah, I wanted to share that. I will give you an update. I am 109 pages in, like I said. It is an over 500 page book. I think it's like 504 pages. I love this. And I have been thinking about the fact I do not binge series like this, like ever or incredibly often. And the fact that this one was so readable and it was so easy for me to just keep going. I'm not reading it as quickly right now because I'm constantly distracted and I'm kind of antsy, I guess. But I am thoroughly enjoying this series, and I absolutely love that I'm able to just sit and read it. And honestly, I'm so glad that I have all 3 books, so I'm able to binge the whole series. I cannot recommend these enough. I really can't. I don't know what the ending is going to be because I am rooting for several different groups, for several different areas. I have a feeling what's going to happen, and that is my idea. However, I think the thing with these kinds of stories is that it's not so much a happy ending as it's the way that things have to end in order to fix it, in order to be not realistic, but to have it end in a way that makes sense. So I do think that this is going to be quite an emotional journey. I do. So I think this is going to take me a little bit longer to read than I expected, which is fine. I'm sitting at 1:25 for the first 100 pages. Again, I keep getting distracted, and John has called me twice. So I had to pause each time, and the screen was dark, so it took me a second. I'm watching the cat play with the mouse. She like throws it up and runs after it. But did you throw it into the basket? Is it in the basket, Lana? Hold on, let's go see if we can find her mouse. Good girl. There she goes. Oh no! She's just too cute. Right? You're just too cute. Alright, new angle unlocked, apparently. I don't think I've used this one yet. It's the end of my weekend readathon. It's actually like Tuesday morning. But I did manage to finish a couple books, and I got halfway through another one. So I did finish The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. I don't have a page count for that one because I just listened to the audiobook. But I did end up listening to it for about 2 hours and 53 minutes in order to finish it. I was about halfway through when I started, so that's pretty good. I'll take that one. And then I started a series, which is great and wonderful, and I had a great time. I read and finished Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I ended up giving this one a 4.25 is the ending rating that this one got. It's not my favorite of the series. There's a lot of world building, and I think it kind of dragged at points. However, I absolutely loved it as the first book in this epic fantasy series, is really the only way I can describe it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It did take me about 4 hours and 42 minutes to get through this book. And at the end, it is 344 pages. The next book that I finished was Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is the second book in the trilogy, and I ended up giving this one a 4.5. It is the favorite one of the ones that I have finished so far. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. This one's a little bit shorter, but there's a lot more action going on in it, which I really appreciated. This one was 328 pages, and as of right now, I still think it might be one of my favorites. And the third book, which is Mirrored Heavens, I did not finish it. I am approximately halfway through. I am sitting at page 241. I'm technically, according to Storygraph, 49% of the way through this book. This is a 504-page book I read for 2 hours and 53 minutes to get here. I love this. I am captivated by it. I am so intrigued by what's going to happen. I just have not had time to finish it yet. So, I really, really enjoyed this trilogy. I am so glad that I picked it up, so glad that I read it, and I cannot recommend it enough. I love that we're finally getting more in this book about the Teak, about some of the other cultures in the world other than what's just going on in Tova, in the main continent where the main actual, like, war, I suppose, is kind of happening. We get to see the rest of the world. We get to see how the rest of the world, what the rest of the world thinks of us, what everyone thinks. But there's a lot of point of views, though. I will warn for that one, which is very interesting. Luckily, it switches at the start of each chapter. Like, the first word is usually whose point of view it is, right? In the first sentence, they'll say, because this is all written in third person, which is also helpful. I do really like this. Is this for everyone? Probably not, but I do think people should read it. I think it's important to read. I think it's very interesting. I think it is dynamic. It is dramatic. It is very much about human condition and about living under oppression and how to get out from that and how to be yourself while also wanting to please somebody else, but also struggling with maybe I don't need to. There's a lot going on. I cannot recommend this enough, and I cannot wait to see how it goes, like what the ending is. I'm so excited. I still have a week left in this month, so I probably will finish this one along with finishing When Women Were Dragons. So my hope is that I'll actually finish my TBR this month, which is really exciting and would be the first time this year I've done it, which it's February. It's the first time in a very long time that I've actually finished my TBR. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe so I can do more videos like this more often. I am trying to do a weekend readathon of sorts every weekend. I didn't add up my hours though. Hold on. I was gonna do that. So in total, let's see if I can remember. 8, 10, 12, 13, 14... So I read, in order to get this far, for almost 15 hours, which I'll take. That was a lot longer, honestly, than I thought I was going to get in this weekend. I kept saying 24 hours, 24. There's no way I was going to hit 24 hours, honestly, and I know that. I am way too distracted in order to do 24 hours in a weekend. I would need someone else to hold me accountable, and even then I'd get really salty about it. So I read for enjoyment, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading these books over the weekend, and I will let you know what I think when I finish this one. I've got this much left, and I was going to show the end pages all together. I had said at one point that they matched up. They do, and they look stunning. That's so cool. The top and the bottom are both black, and there is a reason for that, but this is going to be our end pages, and I am so excited. I cannot wait, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, stay safe. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, and keep moving forward. Bye.